large majority of people who are dying from fentanyl. What is it? How is that happening? Are they intentionally taking fentanyl, or is it just what is it?
The vast majority, it's an intentional overdose of taking something that it's laced. Usually, this fucking fake Perco, the fake Percocet pills.
Percocets?
The fake blue pills.
Yeah.
That shit. I went into a laboratory in Sinaloa of fake Percocets, and
really?
dude, it's crazy how that shit is, how they're manufacturing those pills in a small fucking apartment. I was in one of those biggest labs 2 years ago, I think, or 3 years ago, in Sinaloa as well, and the thing used to be very different. It was huge lab in the outskirts of Culiacan. So it was like outdoors lab, like what you think with huge fucking barrels of precursors and shit, and they will do huge fucking batches of fentanyl laced paste that they will turn into pills, press into pills later. But then apparently this year El Mayo ordered the whole fucking industry to make smaller labs all over the city, more labs but smaller. The smaller quantities. So if they will get busted, they will just find a lab and they won't lose that huge amount of exactly.
Right.
So I went there last year to one of these small new labs, and I mean, they don't even know what they're fucking getting. Right? They just got a Chinese chemist straight from China to teach them how to fucking cook pills, mixed fentanyl. Because all the precursors and fentanyl is coming straight from China to the Sinaloa cartel.
So who's sending the Chinese chemist?
The Chinese triads, which pretty sure the fucking government
Holy shit. And who's paying this fucking chemist?
The Sinaloa cartel.
The cartel's paying
the cartels, yeah. Both cartels, Sinaloa and Cartel Jalisco, are paying like the same group in China, right? And these Chinese chemists come here, will come into Mexico, and they teach both on different places and different dates and everything, like by separately. But it's the same guys that are showing both how to do shit,
Whoa.
And it's crazy. So I went into one of these labs, and
is this one of the labs you went to?
Yeah, exactly. That's the lab I was I think last year.
Wow.
And that's one of the Sinaloa chemists that was recently shown by this Chinese chemist on how to cook those pills.
So this was a Chinese guy?
No, that was a Mexican guy, but he learned straight from this Chinese guy, and he told me how he basically said, like, the Chinese came here, and he was like, I'm gonna be here for 3 months, and you're just gonna watch how I do shit. Every single time I do a new batch, you're just gonna watch. And after 3 months, you're gonna be on test. You're gonna make a test for me, and if you're ready, and if we ship that shit to the U.S. and the shit sells, and the customers are happy with it and everything, then you're ready to go. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to stay here another 3 months and stuff. So that's how that guy learned how to make pills.
Whoa.
He's like, okay, at the 3 months, he stopped, and he said, like, okay, you're flying solo. I started cooking. He just watched and watched and watched. I made a whole batch. We shipped it over, and the shit was good. They have a test that I show on the video how they test the pills for quality, and apparently they use a foil paper, aluminum paper, and then they put the peel and they start burning the paper. And if the peel slides, that means it's a good quality peel. And if the peel gets stuck, that means it's a shitty batch, and you have to do all over again.
Now, is this because the fentanyl is cheaper than what they used to use?
Yeah, man. I mean,
what do they used to use? Just opium?
Yeah, they used to do heroin, basically. Which
heroin.
Is, okay. But fentanyl, it's not that it's cheaper, but it's you have to use less of a quantity to make it like super fucking strong. They have addicts in the city that they test pills with as well. Like they give them a pill or two, and
that's got to be a crazy thing when you're making a giant batch of those things. Like, if you could just put if you put a little bit too much fentanyl in there.
Actually, one of the helpers of these, look, that he's
full
testing that. He's testing the pill for quality.
Oh, is this what he said when it slides?
Pills for to make sure it slides. If you see the peel slide, if the peel will stuck, that means that's not a good peel.
Wow.
But that was not the proper laboratory.
Yeah.
Later that night,
So that other guy on the
Oh,
yellow.
got the echoing
I'm
again.
so sorry.
No, we're good.
That guy on the yellow thing.
Yeah.
He was just out of the hospital because they fucked up over a pack of fentanyl, of pure fentanyl. What they do is when I was there and when they were gonna throw the fentanyl into the mix, they asked me to go as far as I could from them, and I was wearing a fucking mask, like a like a proper mask, not like a
Right.
like a face mask from COVID or whatever. It was like this gas mask I was
Like
wearing.
Breaking Bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Can you get away as far as back as you can?" Because, and they closed windows, they sealed everything because they were like, if we pour the fentanyl, the powder, and you inhale some of this shit, you're fucking done. The guy in yellow was still shaking because he was just out of the hospital because he fucked up and he inhaled, like basically he threw too fast the powder, so the dust came up. It lifted some dust. He inhaled that. 7 days in coma at the hospital.
Oh my God.
And that was
dude.
the day that he was just out. So he was like, when they put the fucking fentanyl into the mix, they opened it like super slowly and they threw it like, and he was like super fucking scared, to put that shit.
Bro.
And then they started like mixing the whole shit and then pressing the peels. The only thing that they didn't let me record was the pressing of the peels. They were like super sketchy about the machine, about the presser. I was like, that's in fucking Amazon, it's super cheap and easy to find. Why? It's like, I don't know, man. My boss told me specifically, you're not gonna record the presser.
Really?
Like, all right. I mean, they allowed me to record the whole fucking precursor, the whole fucking thing, the whole apps and everything. But the presser.
So all of the actual like raw fentanyl, all of it, 100% comes from China.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, all of it comes from China. Sometimes it comes from Germany, but coming from China. So it went out from China, stopped in Germany to some organization in Germany, and that was shipped over to Mexico coast called Fentanyl.
Now, has anyone ever tried to figure out who specifically in China they're getting it from?
I mean, I'm getting a lot of stuff from there, but most of them are saying triads, and then they keep sending me names of the triads and stuff. But then I'm talking with a guy that he used to be like I don't know if it's something like an undercovers working for some U.S. sketchy organization in China. He was recently blacklisted, so he had to go out from China, and he's living in Taiwan right now because he was looking into that shit. And he told me that it's the government, the Chinese government. It's like it's a Chinese Communist Party that it's allowing these shipments.